How was D&D?
It was good. Did you see the shirt that somebody made of me?
So good.
Yeah, literally
It's
your own face on a shirt.
Yes.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's like I
Ah,
said, all right, I need everybody to roll for initiative, and then he whips out that bad boy, and I'm gonna hopefully pop it on screen here for a moment as soon as I figure out what I'm doing in my life.
do you ever know what
Uh,
you're doing in your life?
hell no.
Good. You never should.
No.
God, why?
If someone
That's
claims they do, they really don't.
they're
Yeah, I mean,
lying.
I was about to say they're absolutely lying, but for those that are watching this on YouTube, there is the picture. I will zoom in some. It says "Roll for initiative, bad boy," and that's my friend Alex.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
Says roll for initiative, bad boy. I
yeah.
just
I
do
said
you actually say that?
no. That's the thing. Like I said,
Uh-oh.
I need
Wait,
everybody to
I
go
think I
ahead
just
and
lost
roll for
audio.
initiative, and I see him lean back, unzip his jacket, and I'm like, oh, I mean, he's been here for a few hours. It's
Uh,
probably a little
the
hot in
fuck?
here. And then everybody starts smiling. I didn't notice the shirt at first because I was focused on getting the minis set up. And then I just happened to see a very familiar looking face. And I'm like, I go, what the hell is that? And then that's when I finally, it all clicked into
Amazing.
place. I'm like, you bastard, take advantage on your first roll of the fight. But
It seems
now,
like even if I don't watch the show, it reminds me of the clips Carm sends me from Critical Role.
yep,
Where
that's where he
like
got the
because
idea.
she knows that Sam Riegel's my favorite actor, so she will just send me clips of Sam doing stuff, and the amount of times like it's just basically like he is just there doing a thing, and you're just waiting for how long until Matt notices and dies inside.
Yep, yep. That's where because I had said, "Oh my god, I forgot about these shirt clips." I said these clips give me life, and because I was watching something very similar, and apparently that's what gave him the idea.
Amazing.
Like you absolute monster.
Okay, there we go.
There it
I
is.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I suddenly it was just like at random. It's like, do you actually say that at the table? I see the light up like you're trying to talk, and no sound.
That's weird.
It's a ghost.
I don't
Ooh.
know what just happened. It's just like, oh,
Ooh.
lost all audio. And the worst part is, I'm currently in Baldur's Gate 3 because I was in the middle of playing. I'm like, I could get a little bit in before podcast time. I'm like, yeah, no, I can. And then I get to a giant story drop. I'm like, fuck, I don't have time.
Yeah, no, I like. I very much am just like, all right, let's go ahead and get the podcast done. I work a 10-hour day tomorrow. I can record tonight. I can go ahead and get some editing done tomorrow. Like I've got a system. It's on fire, but I've got a system.
It, world's on fire. How
This
about yours?
this
That's the
is
Uh,
way I like it.
fine.
And I'll never get bored.
yeah, this
This
is
is
fine.
fine.
This is fine. It's my
Yeah,
favorite
what
gift.
have you guys been up to today? Anything fun and
Uh,
or exciting?
sleeping because I was up till like 6 in the morning last night
Yeah, almost
with
like
all
you
this
got
shit because of
hacked.
Steam. I didn't necessarily
Yeah,
get
that's
hacked. I
wild.
still don't know what happened exactly. It's like, hey, I have two-factor authentication. Yeah, that means nothing apparently anymore.
Yeah,
Today I
that's
learned
weird.
two-factor
Yeah,
means shit.
yeah, Jackal. I just
No,
realized
not
though that
Jekyll.
I still have a Christmas decoration on my desk.
Congratulations. What are you gonna do
Thanks.
about it?
I'm gonna keep it there.
I
It'll be
have
Christmas again soon, so.
I have
It'll be
I
Christmas with
have
the Cranks.
all kinds of things. I have a bunch of notes from my girlfriend that she's left me. I won't show them, but photos of my friends' kids
I
in their
thought you were
hockey
gonna say I have
uniforms.
photos of my girlfriend that I won't that she sent me.
No, those are saved on my phone.
Oh, see,
They're in a
okay.
locked folder.
All right, good
I
call.
have
They say taxes 1997.
I have Mr. Mew
That's cute.
from The World Ends with You. I've got the thing that my girlfriend made me for Christmas, a collection of coasters that she put Xenoblade characters
That's
on.
awesome.
Oh,
That's
she's so
actually
Does she
really
have
she's
a
so
cool.
Does she have a cricket thing?
no, she uses like some kind of plastic mold for
That's
them,
awesome.
and then I've got a couple obituary cards. I've got a magic card my roommate gave me, and then I've got the Pride of Canada,
Hold
the
on.
greatest thing. Yeah, obituary cards.
Yeah,
like
why?
because I
Why
had a
not?
funeral a few weeks ago, and I like to honor her.
Okay.
Um,
All right. I thought that you were just
and-
like collecting these like baseball
Nope.
cards. Okay.
And then wait,
Hey,
another
hey.
thing. I have a Calgary Flames sock. I have a Flames sock. Long story for that. And then I have the Pride of Canada. If you ask anybody from Canada, what is the best thing to come out of Canada, especially if it's
Maple
food
syrup.
related?
Maple
No.
syrup.
No. And they say
Poutine?
anything but this, they are not Canadian. Hawkins Cheesies.
Okay.
Any
Parker,
Canadian
I
that
didn't
is
like your
watching
team.
this just started screaming because these are the greatest thing to come from this country. They're terrible for you and they are incredible.
Sounds like
Anytime I
everything
will
in
go to the
America.
US and visit you, I will bring like a box of them and you will run through them in a week. They're so
Perfect.
damn good.
It
Unless you're
kinda-
lactose intolerant.
Well,
No,
I
they
mean,
don't. I'm pretty sure they're lactose fine. And I'm pretty sure they're celiac fine because Cody eats them.
oh,
Well, that
there you go.
I would expect them to be fine with celiac, because celiac has to do generally, if I'm not mistaken, with gluten development. and such.
But the problem is a lot of times gluten, especially in like candies and treats and stuff, is used often as a binding agent. So things
Oh,
like
that's true.
Twizzlers are not okay for celiac.
Which is
That
crazy,
makes sense.
But
Although-
You would never think that.
Yeah.
It's like the
Although-
bread and the wheat and pasta, and then you go, yeah, Twizzlers. Don't eat
And then-
Twizzlers.
You know what though? I had an old coworker once try and talk to me about how, steaks need to make sure that they're labeled gluten free. A steak that you buy at a store, a steak.
so
I think it's because of seasoning.
yeah,
No,
'cause
what seasoning are you putting on this steak you're buying from a store? That's
You can
just
buy
just a
pre-seasoned
steak.
steak.
Some come pre-marinated.
Yeah.
It's also potentially
what I'm
not.
talking about.
It's also potentially not, and this is why there are a lot of celiac like support, like social media groups in areas, because it's not just the ingredients themselves, but celiac is you have to be very conscious of cross contamination. So those steaks that are not labeled as celiac safe might not be. Like, they might not have had wheat in the process, but they're made in a facility that they can't guarantee
Yep.
you would be safe to eat if you are celiac.
That's why where I work with our gluten-free
That's fucked up.
stickers, there's still a thing at the bottom that says, we do primarily work with gluten
Yeah.
products, so we've tried our best to
Cross-contamination.
make sure that there is no cross-contamination, but if you are deathly allergic to gluten, you should probably eat somewhere else.
My girlfriend worked at a restaurant a few years ago. She was telling me, and her boss was super adamant about being everywhere like as good as possible. So if it was possible, if someone came in with especially a celiac allergy, like, that server was on that person and only that person until
Yep.
they left, and was the only person besides the cook that would touch anything that went to them. It was kept as separate as they could, and like, that had to have been like especially at first, a logistical nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely. Because you
mad
only
respect.
have this one person.
Mad respect to someone that would, to a restaurant owner, to any business owner that is willing to do that for people. Mad props. Big ups.
Where-
Especially since you would want to, have as many servers out there doing as much as possible, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Now you got this one person stuck on this one guy.
And it was if possible. Like, if it was absolutely madness and you just couldn't spare the people, they would explain, like, we're gonna do our best. This is how we normally
But
work,
it
but we
could
just
still
don't have the
happen,
people
yeah.
right now. Like, and for the most part, the people holding the food is probably fine as long as the staff regularly are washing their hands. Which, wash your fucking hands. I can't believe it took
Please.
the pandemic to teach people to do that. Just wash your damn hands.
Well, and they're already forgetting again since the pandemic is
It is.
over.
It is.
It's
a very
never been
easy thing
over.
to do.
No. Yeah.
Like,
With where I work, we wash our hand before we make a gluten pizza. We wash our hands just to, kind of make sure. Send it through the oven like normal. Use a separate pizza paddle and a separate knife when cutting it. The only thing is that it is technically the same cut table, so even if we've, wiped it down, there is still a chance that there's going to be some contaminants on it.
Yeah, that's just how
it's a
that
really-
is.
Yeah.
it's a really tough thing, and
It's hard to navigate.
Yeah, especially like, it's one thing if you're a chain. Hello,
I was
Siren.
gonna
How
say,
are you?
Hello, my goodness.
Yeah, I have the window open because it's very
police
warm
are going
now,
for
and
us.
I'm right next to a very busy street. So if you hear Alberta aggressive truck horns and engines, I'm sorry in advance. Welcome
That's
to
fair.
my life.
No, there's something else I'm expecting more so. Hold on, I gotta see if I can find it. Damn it. Damn it. I'm trying to find something
You're doing
stupid.
great.
I have absolutely zero clue where this is going, and that makes me
Same.
really excited.
I don't know why, but this is something like my first thought. This is not exactly it, but this is close enough I can find in GIF format.
We do not have drive-bys in. We do not have gangs with drive-by shootings. We definitely have gangs in my city, I'm sure. But also,
Things
like,
are everywhere, though.
you got to remember that we're in Canada. A lot of us don't use guns. A lot of us use hockey sticks. I'm not gonna lie. I've actually watched like numerous like physical crimes be aided by hockey and or lacrosse sticks.
The seriousness in your
And
voice
you can't get rid of it.
was incredible.
It's see the best part is like, yeah, it's a stereotype and it's a ridiculous thing, but it's also like, no,
Not wrong.
you have absolutely, like, I have seen like fights happen near like an ODR, like an outdoor skating rink or something, and someone run to grab a hockey stick from some kid and like use it as like a weapon, and I'm like, this country is just
amazing.
insane.
Insane in the
Jeez.
brain.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
The little things that everybody in our generation stims.
Yep, and it's great. You know what else is eventually going to take over an entire generation? Probably not, but I'm gonna say that it is to make me feel better.
No. What is it?
Got it.
This week's quiz. Judge the photo. Try to guess the character.
No! Fuck off.
seeing
I don't want to do
only
this.
Their eyes.
Not
I don't want to do this
Well,
because
that's
I
too
heard
bad for
Lady
you.
P was already I think I know.
That was not what I was gonna guess at all.
Not at all either, you bitch.
Good.
I was gonna.
So there's your first picture. I am screen sharing so that you guys may see.
And this isn't specifically only anime, right?
No, it is cartoons,
Okay.
Pokemon,
Okay.
a little bit of everything.
I think I actually know
I've got
who it
an
is.
I think I have an idea. I haven't watched the show, but I think I have an idea.
All
I
right.
used to watch this show all the time, at least the original one.
3.
If I'm right, I
Two,
feel like you would watch that
1.
show.
Who do you think it is?
Ben 10.
Holy shit!
That is correct.
Oh my
It
God.
is Ben
Oh my
from
God.
Ben 10.
It's a very particular green eye.
I just remembered.
I don't know
green being
why.
his color.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I got it.
I know
Alright.
who that is.
3, 2, 1.
Courage.
Cowardly dog.
That is
Yeah.
correct. Y'all are doing
That's
well
really
with the
funny.
eye one.
He always does the eye thing.
I
does.
think you guys are doing great.
And I just will never, like so many people who were born in the 80s, 90s, or early
Return the
2000s,
slab or suffer
Return
by
the Slab
Ravia.
has traumatized me, even if I wasn't
I-
huge into that
okay.
show.
Yeah, same.
I feel like Return the Slab was like obviously the most prominent upsetting moment people have seen. But does nobody remember Fred?
The naughty.
Yeah.
I
no,
That
was
man
I
was
didn't watch much
outright
Courage.
way creepier. I think it was like one of the last episodes too,
I
but
watched
Fred was
other
way creepier.
So I think the reason that we are more scared of the Pharaoh person is that at least while Fred was definitely creepier, especially now as an adult, that we kind of realize what we're looking at. I think the reason that because we were so scared of the Pharaoh is because it represented, the monsters, the Mummy movie, etc. While Fred was just a weird dude.
And that's, yeah,
And,
especially when you're a
uh,
kid. There was a
yeah.
show, and I'm trying to know what it was, because I remember such a vivid, like such a little part of it. A little sparse amount of it. And it was like, I think the show, if I rewatched the show, it might have been Martin Mystery. Might have been the show.
Oh, I forgot about that show.
But
I
like
never heard
they
of
were
it.
in like a desert or something, and somebody got locked in, and a guy like turned into a giant spider, which
Jesus.
I'm a huge arachnophobe, and like it freaked the fuck out of me. And I remember when I was about 18, 19, I was watching Pokemon of all shows, and there's the episode, I think it's either in the Kanto or the Johto arc. Ash gets to a new town, and it's like a desert. And it wasn't the show, obviously, but like the way that it panned out from the desert, I'm like, just had like a fight or flight
You got
response. 'Cause I was
taken
like, that
back.
was exactly like this other show did.
I love
And I
it.
was like, no one turns into a giant spider in Pokemon, right? They didn't do like
As
the
far
weird
as you
fusion stuff
know.
until Ash got a Greninja.
That was dumb as hell. Just straight up. Why?
Most of the anime was dumb as hell.
They also put it
Yeah.
into the game at some point.
Yeah.
One
He
game.
was in Sun and Moon.
Yep.
Ash Greninja, I
Why?
believe.
My
started in
kid
Sun-
plays the demo to Sun and Moon, and it lets you play with Ash's Greninja throughout the demo. He loves it though. Like he'll just play the same area over and over again because he gets to use his Ash's Greninja, as the kiddo calls it.
I call it
Greninja.
green. I call it Green Ninja, but that's because I play the green skin with
Yeah.
Greninja and Smash.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Third set of
is it-
eyes.
Okay.
Oh fuck! This I
Oh
have.
fuck.
This I have no.
Shit. We were confident.
You were.
We were. I have. Hold on.
So happy right now.
I have a.
Rightly no.
I'm stuck between two shows, but I don't remember if the one show had anyone with eyes that big.
3, 2,
Oh,
guess
oh,
one.
I gotta guess.
yes.
Terra from Teen Titans.
No,
I know I'm
is it-
wrong.
Oh no, it's not anime. I wanted to say Edward Elric.
It is Edward Elric.
Oh, my
yeah,
god!
I would not have known
You
that.
wanna know what? You know what? I don't know why. I look at it. I'm like, that looks so familiar.
Yeah.
Looks angry.
Yeah,
it's
well,
probably
Ed-
an angry
Ed did
short
spend
man.
most of his time angry.
Yeah.
rightfully so.
Also, yellow eyes are very uncommon.
Yeah.
I'm a Persona fan. They absolutely are not to me.
Okay, see that's the problem. You play
Like-
weeb games.
Like, I'm also a Xenoblade fan. They're not uncommon to me at all.
Playing your weeb games, you
They're-
weeb.
I love it.
Both of those series have yellow eyes being a prominent thematic or actual story point.
Great.
Okay, that's just unfair.
No, it's not. It's fine. I will
Hold
give
on, I gotta
you a
pop this out
hint.
so I can go and look.
It is a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I know that's the perfect hint. I know exactly who it is. I just got to look up the name real quick.
Well, that seems like cheating if there's an image
I'm not
attached.
Googling.
I know the name. I
That's
just
fair.
had to. Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna
three-
guess, but
and
I
it was
know
the
I'm
only
gonna be
guess I
wrong.
had.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Unknown.
Not to. I thought unknown as well, but
it was
Oh,
it's
yeah,
because it's
Natsu,
a bird
yeah.
eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bird eye.
I thought Natsu had two eyes, so I was trying to think of Pokemon
That's
that are gone with
Xatu.
only
It's
one eye.
Zatu.
Yeah,
Ah.
Xatu has 2.
Yeah.
Natsu. The only reason I had the Natsu image is because I just. By the way, follow me on YouTube if you want to see daily shorts of reviewing every single Pokemon until we finish the Pokédex. I had just finished recording that one.
It while I don't dislike the series, the last time I was super into Pokemon, to quote Stop Skeletons from Fighting, there was a tight rap to explain all 151 of them.
It's a hard.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata,
I don't remember the rap,
Pidgey,
though.
Seeking, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree.
Butterfree.
I can't
Yeah.
tell
So
you,
if you
know,
actually-
the
Catch 'em, gotta
branches
catch
of
'em all,
government,
gotta
but I can
catch 'em
sing the
all.
Pokerap.
If I'm not
Even-
mistaken, the entire Pokérap, if you get the proper version all together, it is all 150 Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Even though they only do, I think it was like, what was it at the end
It
of the
was
show
like,
that they did the Pokérap?
yeah, they did like 25 a day, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was if you watched it in a week or
Yeah, if
two.
you watched it from
If you
Monday
watched it
to
over
Friday,
like 7 days
Yeah.
or something, yeah, then you would see all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it was, I think it had 5 verses
something like that, yeah.
that got like 5 variants that you could see at the end of any episode.
Fun fact
Which I'm
about
pretty
that
sure-
song, these guys that wrote that had no idea what the Pokemon were, what they looked like or what they were. They were just given a list of all 150 names and they were told, make a song out of this.
That's
I
really
mean-
funny. And they did it,
Yep, and it was
Which it-
great.
which is good because they didn't just go through 100 to
Yeah.
150. So they just didn't do Bulbasaur, Venusaur, Ivysaur in a row
Yeah,
kind of
it
thing.
wouldn't have slapped.
Not as hard.
Yeah.
Not like as hard as I want to be.
Go on.
I have no fucking clue.
Oh, I should know this. I
Wait,
feel like
I
you
should know this.
Both of you should know this because we've both talked about
Wait,
this.
I have a feeling. No, it can't be, but I have a
I'm
feeling.
so happy.
Mm.
And big props to my wife for taking the time to cut these eyes out. Took her about an hour.
Shout out to Lady B, who's gonna
Yeah.
probably be who's most likely gonna be the first guest on the show. We love her.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me steal your husband.
Mwah.
Goodbye.
Mwah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, guess.
I think it's Vash the Stampede.
Faye?
It is Vash the Stampede.
Do you want to know how I was able to guess?
Probably the
Sorry.
mole.
What so the mole? I did not know it was actually there, but it's the little spiky hairs in front. I'm like,
Okay.
that is it Vash? Because
Vash
that is the
from.
Trigun.
Trigun.
Yeah, I've never watched
Oh, I
Trigun.
thought that you did.
You really should.
You told me I
It's so
should because how
good.
much I go off of a Bebop, and it's on the list, but I have not watched it.
Fair
I
enough.
don't feel as stupid because I'm like, the mole is such a clear giveaway, and there's only
Yes.
one character, two characters I can think of with facial defining moles, and
That's
I
fair.
know they're not on here.
So the thing too with Vash is that the thing that most people would ever recognize him with is those orange glasses.
And he
This
also
is him
just
without
has
the
pretty
glasses.
eyes. Like, man has gorgeous eyes.
He's got soldier eyes.
Mhm.
He's also the very friendliest man you'd ever meet.
And
He's such a great guy.
it's our last set of eyes.
Huh? No, wait. Maybe.
It's not.
No. No. Wait, what?
Not googling it because I don't want to. The rest of it doesn't tell me that this could be, but that's the only. I have a guess, but
Yeah, Lady B
Probably
outdid
wrong.
herself with this one. She goes, I couldn't get rid of the face, so I just, like, scrubbed out the color palette.
yeah, I have. I'm gonna. I have a guess.
I don't.
All right. 3, 2,
Oh,
1. Lock in those guesses.
Yusuke Urameshi.
that was nowhere near where I was going. So I was gonna say Gone Freaks from fucking X Hunter x Hunter.
That is correct. It is Yusuke Urameshi.
Yeah.
Urameshi.
All right.
Oh, it is. God damn it.
So that's something, like, I'm gonna kind of flip-flop in between doing guessing eyes, feet, clothes, etc., just because I think that can be a lot of fun. And
Oh, we're opening this up to feet. Ooh.
you know how
We can't.
Oh
we
no.
can't have
We're,
them.
we're
feet.
gonna out somebody
That's-
over this.
That's fine.
Oh,
Listen, tell me
oh.
if you like feet in the comments below, but also
Oh
please
yes, do
don't.
tell me,
Oh,
please.
God.
I
No-
am
no flame if
flexible
you-
enough.
No flame if you do. Definitely not for me.
What's wrong, Bricker?
Watch
I
your
was doing
feet.
that on stream. My feet are clean. It might look a little dirty just because of the lighting, but no, my feet are clean.
When
I was doing that on
my-
stream not too long ago too. People are
my,
just
girl-
nasty.
my girlfriend and her mom on her birthday, which was a couple weeks ago, or last week. Frick, time is irrelevant.
True.
She and her mom went for pedicures, and afterwards she's like, "Feel how like clean my feet are," and I'm like,
I'd rather not.
okay, I'm glad I'm not like super into feet, or we wouldn't be going to dinner right now. If you just like did this to me, like I'll be honest, babe, I'd be carrying you into your room. And we'd be-
If I was into feet, we would not be going to dinner. Is basically what you were just
Well,
saying there.
Parker would
yeah, and we'd
going
be
to
playing
dinner.
blackjack.
And hookers.
I want to play blackjack.
And
I like
hookers.
blackjack.
And hookers.
We
Because
could.
you want to hit
If,
that?
if, if they want to play blackjack, no, I would pull out a deck of cards and we would deal. some
Blackjack is fun. I like blackjack. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how to count cards, and I would rather never learn. But yeah, no,
The
things
trick
can
is
happen.
you count them.
That's true.
I'm going to pile drive you into your own
Like,
wall.
I don't know if you know this, but the reason that they call it 52
Don't look at me like
pickup
that.
is because there's 52 cards in a deck. So you only have to count to 52 to be able to pull this off.
I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of all of you.
Daddy's getting mad.
Doesn't
Also,
52 count the
mostly-
jokers?
No,
No, I think with
4
the
sets of
Jokers, it's
13.
technically 56, I want to
it's
say.
it's 4 sets of 13.
Because there's
It's
4
a 13.
Jokers,
Okay,
right?
yeah, that'll do it. No, there's only 2.
I think there's 2.
Okay. Yeah.
God, that reminds me of the drinking game we did during Guys Weekend up in upstate New York. I think the game we were playing was called Palace, but we do it a drinking variety where if you're playing the game, I don't know if you guys know how Playhouse is played at all.
No,
actually.
I've never even.
I've
heard of
probably
this.
played it under a different name. Most
But,
of the
yeah,
games
that's
have
Most
like 8
likely,
names.
yeah. Or like it's like I can't remember the other names, but it's like you have cards in your hand. I think it was up to 5 cards in your hand. You have 3 cards face down, and then 3 cards face up on top of that in front of you, and you're basically
attack
trying to
mode
make
or
piles.
defense position.
You have 3 cards face down and 3 cards face up in front of you.
I've
And then you
probably
have
played
a-
it.
You essentially have a pile in the center of everybody playing, and the whole goal is to basically, if you have a 2 down, you put the next card you either put down as a 3 or going higher and higher. You can go from 2
I've
to
played
jack
games
kind of thing.
like that. Played games
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
So that was the whole game, and basically, there was a couple jokers in the deck. If you got a joker, you had to take a shot.
So it's essentially, it's a game that is not far removed, and I know every time I open this wound and mention that I like this game, especially if Karma or Cody are around, I suffer. It's not too dissimilar to placing down cards based on what was previously played. It's not too dissimilar to the best card game ever made, Uno.
Dude, I love Uno.
Honestly, no, not really that different, actually. Yeah.
Karma and Cody always hurt me because
Yeah.
they always say like you should play Magic or Pokemon. I'm like, I just want to play Uno.
Yeah, you
I
can
really-
do both.
I like
I
Uno.
do both.
I will not do Magic because like this is look how much fucking text is on this card.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There's like 8 rules, and every card game and every turn in like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon's like, I'm gonna play this card, and then this card's gonna activate, and I'm gonna tap this one for 80 mana, and then I'm gonna play these 2 lands, and then this thing is gonna activate, which is gonna do this. Do you want to do this and all that? Uno is like, I have a 4. I have to draw. Go the other way. I have a red 7. Okay.
Oh, my man's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he got scared by
Reverse.
words.
It's your turn now. Reverse. Now what you gonna do?
Look, I play RPGs. I get enough reading done through that.
No, RPGs lately have just read it out for you.
Yeah,
I play a
voice
lot
lines
of
are a hell of a
ones.
thing.
I know Baldur's Gate has been fucking insane. By the way, I still have the game up in front of me. Funny enough, I've just been sitting basically here for the last half hour. Oh god, last half hour staring at a mind flayer.
Moonwalk.
Oh. Hi,
I'm
I'm trying to talk to
buddy.
this mind flayer.
He's
This
so
whole game is
handsome.
about mine.
He's so handsome.
It's a really nice mind flayer. They're a very friendly guy.
I have. I'll try. I
Baldur's
don't
Gate
know if I
has-
can get my. Hold on. There's like a
I
million
only-
things.
Only
I
just barely
have-
was able to.
You can't see my TV is right there in front of that other chair.
Yeah.
Yes, I just washed my bed sheets, so I don't have sheets
Yeah,
on.
the
I'm
mind.
watching
Yeah.
hockey.
You're watching hockey.
I got nothing on TV, but I do have the Friends Lego set over there next to my internet.
I just
also
see
have-
slippers.
Yeah, I had to
It's
steal the
also-
wife slippers because I think one of the cats got
Ah,
upset and peed on mine.
Hold on. I'm
Why'd you
gonna
piss
do
the
this.
cat off?
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
do this. Don't worry, I got this. Don't worry, I got this.
We're going on
What
an
is
adventure.
happening? I'm getting vertigo.
Untangling
Oh,
his
hey,
cord.
No, I was
Hockey.
trying to show that also as little much as you can see of the Xenoblade shelf there.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I can see. I saw the
There's
hockey. first.
Malia and Pyra and Mithra, and you can kind of see Nia there and the special controller, and then
And the
down
and
there's the
air,
other special controller.
and the compressed
and-
air.
Yeah, and the compressed air.
Every computer household has compressed
Vertigo,
air.
apologies.
That's why you
This is
just don't
gonna
look.
It's gonna be really hard to do.
I know I ran out of compressed air not too long ago, so I'm like, I need more compressed air.
I've been thinking about. I need some depressed air as well.
Same.
I was thinking about
Oh,
getting
God.
like I was thinking about getting an electric compressed
I'm
air.
so sorry to anyone who is watching
My
this. I'm just
grandpa
gonna cover
was.
my camera for a second while I do this so that
That's a
I
good
don't
idea.
destroy somebody's.
Destroy
Somebody
their
with
entire
vertigo.
life.
Yeah, I don't want to cause pain.
Oh, I do. I like it. It
Yeah.
makes me happy because the pain I cause gives me life.
I just want to cause Rhino pain, typically.
Fuck you.
Love
I'm
you
with
too,
you on that.
Daddy. I am so
Oh no,
happy.
he's gone.
No, him leaving the
So
call is
free.
probably the best part of the
Fuck you. Say
podcast.
you're so free.
Oh,
Fuck
he's back. Yay.
Oh no! Yeah. Also, I know you're not into it, Parker, but Rhino How do you feel about the unknown now that we're on podcast alert?
So fun.
It's such a fun
There's
killer.
so many
Such a
unknown.
good character to go against and play as.
Honestly, Unknown's a pretty cool Pokemon. I
I'm-
like
Yeah.
the concept of
I'm
them.
actually thinking about doing a team run in Heart Gold of just only unknown.
It's gonna be a four
What's it gonna
unknowns, and it's
say?
gonna spell boom.
That's not a bad idea.
You could also do brick. I had to count it. I don't know
Brick
if you
with an
saw me.
exclamation point.
Well, I could do Bricker to be
BRICK.
7.
Oh, that's 7.
5 at most.
Or
Bricker.
yeah,
So, like
I was
it's
gonna
in the
say
2000s
just
with
drop
no
the
E.
E and just it's Bricker.
And then it
There
always
you
gets
go.
put in the wrong order anyway, so it never actually spells Bricker. It's like Brick.
Yeah, I put in an order once as Bricker and I got back Bricker Son. I'm like, you added letters. That's a special kind of skill.
Listen, sometimes when you hear a name, you're like, all right, I got it. Fuck, I remember this bit. Yeah, let's just add this bit. It'll be fine.
When
It's just
in
close
the-
enough. It's close enough.
when Meet the Parents was a thing and like a big thing, and Meet the Fockers came out after,
God, I forgot about those.
because
movies.
my last name has Vocker in it. A lot
You
of
got
people
called Fokker?
just thought it was Focker.
God,
And a
how
lot of people
easily
thought my name was
influenced
just
are
Mark.
we as people? That because of a movie, and not a very popular one, I might add. Like it was, like at least here in
was-
America, at least
was
in the
it?
state that I'm in, it wasn't super.
It
popular.
existed,
Yeah.
really. Like
But that's insane. Like,
I feel like it's just more known for the meme now after.
oh,
of,
absolutely.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Okay, that was a good line.
So that's one time at band
It
camp.
was
Different movie, but
A
I like
different
where your
movie,
head's
but
at.
Different movie. I know. I'm
Much
aware.
more-
It's just another
much
one of
more
those things.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
Allison
note,
Hannigan
especially
actually will not
amongst
show her
our-
kids that movie.
well, yeah.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the one that happened to get like
Yeah.
famous. It's another dime a dozen. We're turning 18. Let's try to get laid movie. There's a billion of them.
Which is still like it
And
kind
if
of
you're gonna watch
surprises me
those-
that those were able to actually get through. Like just kind of judging where we are at as
Again.
people today. I know, but like just some of it's real bad. Like if you go back and watch some
Oh, yeah.
movies, it's bad.
Like
So
the only one of those movies that I've seen that like I think genuinely holds up and like actually holds up as a genuinely good movie is Superbad, and not just because like Jonah Hill, all the Michael Cera, like all the people in it are really good performers, but it's a much more earnest thing.
I can see that.
Like it actually
you
like
haven't seen it?
feels reflective of people that age, and
Yeah.
the whole like even with that stupid setup, like it manages to have both some like stupid hilarious
McLovin.
moments, like Seth just losing his damn mind when Fogel brings a fake ID is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. It's so
I don't-
good.
I don't know.
But
22 Jump Street when Channing Tatum realizes Jonah
Ritz
Hill's
fucked the
character.
captain's daughter. It points the gun. It's really not that funny at all. It's
Easily one of my
but,
favorite scenes.
I've never
it's
seen
so
21 Jump Street.
But
Highly recommend.
it's so good, both of them. But
I've seen
Superbad is
Superbad.
also
Superbad's insanely good.
I would say Superbad is also really good because it's a genuine like a pretty like earnest and good portrayal of like that kind of terrifying excitement when you're like about to graduate of like we're gonna be adults, we're gonna go off to college, we're gonna do all this stuff, and like how are we like the idea of like what I'm supposed to do if I'm going to be an adult. Like adults do these things.
You
If
know-
I do these things, I'm an adult, and
you know,
really
what's a-
that's-
Are you
a
an
really
adult?
good
No, you're not.
piece?
Does drinking make me an adult?
No,
no.
but
Okay, good, because I drank when I was really young and I'm still not an adult.
Only thing that makes you an adult is being over the age of 18.
Yep.
None of us
Legally.
adults know what.
legally,
anyone
yes.
To anyone that's becoming an adult or recently become an adult, I'll let you in on a real secret, and it's the one thing that every adult needs to learn and will learn. None of us know what the fuck we're
What
doing.
the fuck am
It's
I
true.
doing?
None of us have
Yeah.
any idea.
Because guess what? I woke up today and was like, oh man, I have to. Oh god, I have responsibilities. And then I'm like, oh man, I have stream, D&D, podcast recording, YouTube videos to upload. I have a 10-hour shift at work tomorrow. How am I going to fit everything into... I'm just not going to sleep ever.
It's
You know what we need? You
Yeah.
know what you need? Parker, we need those, like, from Chrono Trigger, those pods you can walk into and you just feel a full night's
No.
rest
those
within
would be
two-
awful.
What?
those
You don't
would
want
be
to feel an
so bad.
immediate full night's rest in a minute?
In the
and literally
context
you
of
keep
the
going?
game, that would be terrible because what it does is make you still feel the hunger of if you slept that long, but you don't eat. So you are living in like
Yeah.
perpetual hunger, and that's why the line "but you're still hungry"
still
is one of the
Well-
best lines from Chrono Trigger
I
because
don't-
that is terrifying. Your survival
No.
instincts are going to tell you keep getting in the machine, but you're going to never feel
Well,
full
no.
because you don't have food.
Well, yeah. That was the whole thing. It's like there's no food in food. There's no food in the future
Feud.
because the future got demolished. So
Mhm.
you're always hungry, even
It's
if you
in
got all your
ruin.
sleep. But if we had a world where everybody was able to stay well fed, and it's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go take and eat, then go into this pod. Ah, sweet, 8 hours of restful sleep in a minute.
It would be quite.
That would be incredible.
But does it make you age? Like every
I
time
mean,
are we doing that? Are we losing 8 hours?
You
Or are
know
we just-
what? Okay, experiment
So like if I
time.
keep doing this, if I'm grinding for real, if I'm IRL grinding and I get in the pod,
Grinding for
go
old
out
age.
and I go out and fight a couple deer outside my apartment and come back in and pop into it so that I can get the full heal. Am I gaining 8 hours? If I do that 3 times, have I lost a day?
So what you're trying to do is speed run life.
I'm not trying to. I'm saying would that be possible because of this?
I need to talk to my coworkers and see if they can find it again, because now all you mainly remind me of is that somebody actually made a video of speedrunning life. Like the second they were born, you just apparently they get shot out the womb, and then you come back
I
like a
think
minute
I've
later,
seen
they're
that.
an old
Yeah,
man.
I've seen that.
I think
Yeah,
I've-
I've seen
think
that
I've seen that
exact
video.
comic. Yeah.
I need to find
Is
it.
was it from Asdif movie? I feel like
It
I
might
wanna
be an ASDF.
Yeah. I feel like that might be worse.
God damn it. There's a speed run. There is on the speedrun subreddit. There's a speed run of real life. What categories would they be? Any percent. Die as fast as possible. Extremely random RNG dependent category. Game ending is allowed.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Oh god. Any percent, no game ending.
This
Die
got
as fast as
dark.
possible.
It's not
without-
dark fast.
Yeah.
We
Max
here
percent,
at
live as
Scheduling
long as
Conflicts
possible.
Do not condone the game ending of oneself.
No. Wait.
Anyway.
We also don't
Low-
condone speedrunning, just in general.
Hold on.
Well,
I-
hold on.
We
Hold on.
condone
I've
speedrunning,
seen
100%.
I've seen some pretty legit speedrunning hacks.
Especially if you're a speedrunner who is very exhausted from a shit ton of flight shenanigans and you're speedrunning Jak and Daxter. We condone that.
No, it's not
100%.
Jak and Daxter. It's Mario and Pikachu in the quest for the car keys.
Sorry. Mario and Pikachu in the quest for the cockies.
Anyway, a good period piece is also Jurassic Park, because that's exactly how dinosaurs would act. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, scientists nowadays look at it, be like, I think we fucked up.
It is a very it's a good Jurassic Park is a good thing to remind people that we're constantly evolving what we know and changing with the times. Like in the 90s, from what I understand, a lot of people would have said Jurassic Park as we understand it seems relatively accurate.
Yeah, and now we
Hey,
realize
and now
that
we've
learned
raptors
since.
have feathers.
Yeah, and it's some people will shit on the movie and it's okay, but it's the same with
At the
if
time,
you
it was
watch
pretty accurate.
yeah, I watch you watch a video that talks about anything from a movie from 60 years ago, anything that they do in that movie, and you go, wow, this would never fly today. Well, yeah, but did it fly back then?
Well, and not
No,
only
it
that,
didn't.
Like watch an old video with a courtroom or something, be like, that's not how a legal proceeding would go today. Yeah, but is it how it went back then?
Probably.
Right, you don't know.
Depending on the situation, probably not. It just
Yeah.
happened to work out that way.
Well, they
My
also,
favorite is still.
the
Go
movie
ahead.
makers also, they got to make
Oh,
their
yeah.
money.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's gotta be
I got a big
Yeah,
ass cobweb on my ceiling that's like threatening to come down. So if you see me start pulling off
Lick it.
some mad kung fu halfway through, it's because
Lick
it
it.
did in fact fall down. Sir, my
Incredible.
ceiling is about 6 to 7 feet up. I cannot. My tongue.
I can almost touch
You
my
can't Gene
ceiling.
Simmons it?
No, no.
Uh,
I wanna rock
you know what
and roll all
you just made me
night,
think about though.
have a
Uh,
wonderful time.
Everybody always says, "Hey, fucking Blazing Saddles could not have been made today."
It really
It
the
can.
whole point of
It's
the
a
movie,
satire film.
and the
Yeah.
whole point of the movie is racism is bad.
Yes.
Like the movie is literally about racism is bad.
See,
Like-
I don't
Like people who say it wouldn't exist today, it wouldn't exist today. Like the people who would complain about it are the same people that say it wouldn't be able to exist today, because you're the people who look at two out of
Right.
context face value clips and go, oh, there's no way it could. Or you latch on to what you heard people say on social media rather than forming your own damn opinion. It's basically just death of the author.
Yeah.
You're missing the entire
Oh.
point of the damn thing.
The
It's
thing
like
that-
saying the Final Fantasy X laughing
on.
scene was bad. You're just an idiot if you think that. It's a
It
great
just
scene.
sounds
It's one of the
so
best
fucking
scenes.
goofy.
And it was supposed to. And right after in the same scene, they laugh like real people, because right before the laugh, they say, even we are about to die because we're basically children who have been told, you're gonna die for the world, kids. Enjoy it. And they don't know how to handle it. And they go, sometimes maybe all we can do is make ourselves laugh. So they make themselves laugh. It is wholesome. It is wonderful. Tidus is great. Yuna is one of the best characters in the series. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Man, I haven't heard him pop off
Can you-
this much since I mentioned why do you hate Mickey Mouse in the Kingdom Hearts series. My God. Check out
Oh, yeah,
episode
that's-
1 of the podcast if you want to hear
That's
that
literally
rant.
just. Oh well, I mean that's just literally because of one character.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually. I can now hate Mickey guilt-free because apparently my little nephew is not obsessed with Mickey Mouse anymore. He's now about tractors.
Oh, yo. John
So
Deere
is he gonna be a
International?
farmer? No, no, no.
I mean,
no,
my
stay away from John Deere.
brother-in-law,
Fuck John Deere.
my brother-in-law is a farmer, and
Oh,
like his
okay.
one of his favorite things to do is go on like quad rides and stuff.
That's cute.
Well, we've
my
got the land.
my sister has a video from about a year ago, and like every time I watch it, I'm so happy because she is in her kitchen and my little buddy is in his little playroom, and it's just down the way on the same floor of their house. And she's like making dinner or something, and while she's recording, she's like, "Hey, Easton, you want to go for a quad ride?" And you just hear this toddler just screech, and then you just hear the pitter patter of
All
his
I'm
little
thinking
feet as
of
he
is
just
asking a
pins it
dog
o-
if they want
as
to
he
go
just pins it
walkies.
over. Literally, it's so adorable.
That's great.
Oh, it's
He
so
wants to go
good.
for a ride.
He was excited.
As
Like, and his
long as
walk
he-
is so out of like sync, because like he
As
just
long
Because he's
he
figuring
doesn't-
out how movement works.
Yeah.
yeah, he just like, well, and it's like he doesn't understand weight distribution, so the way he moves his two arms throws off how he walks, because his one arm he like holds like he's carrying something. I feel like he honestly is gonna have like a wrist problem, because even when he crawls he like puts it under, but his other one he goes normal.
Ooh, that
And his
sounds
other arm
painful.
he'll just do this,
just
but then this arm
going.
he's just like there, so it's like he's like throwing his torso
If-
off while he walks. It's
If
so
I
good.
had to guess,
puts the whole
arm
body
that
into it.
is pumping is probably going to be his dominant hand, and the other one is
He's
just
gonna be a
there.
lefty.
Yes,
He's gonna be a lefty then.
that's what I.
It's also that his dad does that too.
Oh
Like
no!
his dad, his dad, like just like the way he talks and stuff, like he keeps his one hand like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
there,
It's
so
also
he's
the
kind of
same,
like
yeah.
mimicking what his dad does.
That's fair.
It's adorable
I'm gonna
as hell.
continue to hope for a lefty, though. I
It could
have
be.
no connection
His
to
mom,
these
my
folks,
sister,
but-
is a lefty, so it could happen.
Yeah, I'm the only left-handed person in my family.
I used to be ambidextrous until I destroyed all the ligaments in my hand.
Hot, I think.
No, you can feel bone on this whole side of my hand.
Oh,
Like just like nothing protecting it. It's just bone. It's if you ever see me, anyone who would ever see me at the gym can see certain exercises with my right hand. I don't struggle anywhere near as much as with my left hand. It's not because weight is off. It's literally because my left hand
Right.
struggles to grasp it, and while my right hand like firm grip with nothing with my left hand, I just feel it start, and I'm basically just
I
like holding 9,500 pounds off like that.
I really had to start feeling my hands. I'm like, I can still feel bone. I don't know what you mean.
Sometime when I see you like it's specifically like around here, it's just like bone pretty much.
Okay, I can feel my fleshy bits.
Exactly.
There's not as
all
much.
that stuff.
It's
is
up to the
bonked.
it's up
It's-
to
And
the joint,
you would
which makes
know,
sense.
like you would see if you felt like my two pinkies, like you would know what I mean.
I'm
It
gonna
is
have
hard
to-
to describe.
When we meet, I'm gonna hold your hands and
You
stare
feel the
longingly
thing.
into your
Feel
eyes.
the feel. the
Actually,
digits.
God,
Yeah.
you know what you just reminded me
Feel
of?
the digits.
Because I have one coworker of mine who does like, God damn it! I have one coworker of mine who does really. He'll do just like weird things at me. He'll look at me and say "fuck you," and I'll say "fuck you" back to him, kind of thing. It's just that kind of relationship with
As
my
you do.
coworker. Yeah, but on occasion he'll do the handshake thing. He'll hold my hand and start like
Yeah.
grinding grinding
Oh,
the knuckles
yeah.
together.
No.
But, so here's the thing: it doesn't hurt when he does it, but when he did it the last time, I heard a crack, and I just looked down. I'm like, "Did you just crack your hand?" He looked up and like, "Yep, I did."
The best is
He
is
cracked
when
his own
you-
hand trying to do it to me.
My favorite is when you lock. Instead of
Yeah.
just handshaking, you take your index finger to start doing this on the inside of their wrists.
I should
It
do
throws
that
people
next time.
off so much. Do it, and see if he like freaks out because it's like people have
Yeah,
no
I'm
idea
gonna
what
have
to
to
respond
now.
with.
So-
Go offer Lady B a handshake out of nowhere as soon as you're done. Put her there, wife.
Put it there, wife figure of the house.
If I'm gonna be tickling
Please.
her anywhere, it ain't gonna be her wrist. Anyway, what is y'all's
Please.
favorite food?
Burgers.
Tortellini.
Mine is now is that what
I
you
swear
like
I
to
say
cook?
pizza.
Or is that just your favorite food?
Eat.
Because there is a
Anything.
difference.
I will
So
cook
it's
tortellini.
I'll-
I will
yeah.
I'll order it. Either or.
I'll cook it and eat it too.
pasta.
And the thing is though,
Especially stuff with sausage.
if I go to a new
Italian
restaurant,
sausage. There's a place that gives like you can buy like here. There's a brand that makes like Italian sausage filled tortellini.
if I ever go to like a new
Orgasm.
restaurant or something, I will always order a burger because if they fuck up a burger, that means they fucked up everything else on the
That's
I'm that
entire
way with
menu.
I'm that way with chicken. Like if I'm
Mine,
unsure what to get, I get chicken or fish and chips. If
I
you
do-
can't
I
if
do
you can't do
spaghetti.
that, you don't. Yeah, spaghetti as well.
yeah, but
Or if you go to a cafe, bagel.
I
yeah,
haven't.
my
I
all-time
haven't had
favorite
spaghetti
to
in
like
forever.
cook. I make this really good lemon garlic shrimp in over a thing of
I always knew
Alfredo
you were a shrimp.
pasta.
Oh, you make
Yeah,
us
but like
That sounds pretty
jumbo
good.
shrimp.
Man, I
Not
remember
big-
seeing jumbo shrimps back in Chicago. They were like this long
know, I'm
and
like,
that
those-
thick.
Those aren't shrimp. Those are just tiny fish.
They're just
No,
prawns.
they're tiger
Yeah.
shrimp. They're big shrimp.
Yeah,
I-
that's my
That's
go-to
so-
like dish. But like, yeah, if I go to a new restaurant, like I always have kind of that safety net of food.
Yeah.
My wife's is like chicken tenders and fries.
Yeah.
That's like her safety food, or steak, which is a brave safety food, I think.
That's
but-
because not only like with steak, like a lot, like I've never been one who's super picky.
Mhm.
Like steak and eggs for the most part. If a restaurant asks me how do you want it, unless like I think it's best a certain way with what I'm eating. For the most part, I'm like however the chef wants it, because the chef
Ooh,
will cook
that's
it as they
dangerous.
think. I found that if I do that, most of the chefs, at least where I am, cook it to how they want, which is like their comfort level, and it's usually cooked fine. But also to me,
But what do you do when you
A
get a well
steak
done
is a steak.
steak?
I asked them politely yet firmly to leave. But like steak
who
also
want
would
well
be
done.
tricky because not only could it just be poorly prepared or made, you also have the chance of them just completely botching how you order it.
Yeah.
So you could order a medium rare and they completely fuck that up.
Yeah, my grandma likes hers. Like, you know how they have like I think it's called blue steak, where it just barely has touched the grill.
Oh,
Yes.
She
oh,
wants
I
it
want-
like
I-
a step above that, but barely.
I want to try
I know
blue
people
steak.
like that.
I-
I'm
I
like,
I
can't.
gotta
no.
try it.
wanna
I need to try it
blue
at least
steak.
once.
I am.
Well, Wagyu is a type of cow.
I'm aware. I want to try that kind of steak. Thank you for trying to mansplain steak to
No,
me.
no. It's not like that. Because like there's different types of like
Amazing.
Wagyu.
Oh,
You have to
so
like be very
good.
specific
Oh,
about
that's
it.
so good.
Because there's like what's called American Wagyu, which is like not even like true Wagyu.
I don't even
beef.
care what kind it is. I just want to try it. That's the thing.
Okay,
It's
but
for
that's the
the
thing. It's,
name.
do you want like actual or do you
Whatever
want
is
what
in the
is
restaurant
being
that I go
called it?
to. Like, I just want to feel like a bougie bitch at least once. That's all.
But then you could like the thing is like you can say, hey, I want a Wagyu steak, and you look at it, and it's like, yeah, it's labeled as Wagyu, probably came from Wagyu cow, but it's
Yeah,
not
then that's fine.
actual Wagyu.
Well, that's fine, because at the very least, I can then say, I had Wagyu steak. That's it. Like, I just want to feel bougie. I don't know why you're trying to take this from me.
I'm not trying to take it. I'm
No,
just
I'm
trying to make
pretty
sure
sure
that
you're
you get
trying
the
to
right
take it from me.
shit. I'm not trying to take
Oh.
shit from you. I want to make
No,
sure
it's
you got
fine,
the right
it's fine.
thing.
No, it's fine. I
No,
forgive you.
just want to make sure. No, there's nothing there to forgive. You
come
absolute
back.
slut.
But
Baby, come back.
on a good news note, we're talking about being expensive and shit. I do have some beef jerky. So that's
Oh,
pretty
good
good.
Why is
choice.
beef jerky so fucking expensive?
I know.
It's
So
just a shit ton of it's a process to
reason
make.
It's a
that
long process.
we
Yeah.
had like that
And
we
'cause
were able to
capitalism.
buy it is because my wife's dad, he had to go to a rehab center for a couple months. He's like, yeah, I have a $200 grocery card. I'm getting free meals here. Go ahead and go buy groceries for yourself.
Oh
this month."
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, you know.
So you got yourself some beef jerky.
Yeah, because we had already done the grocery shopping. So I'm like, yeah, just buy, like, stock up on meat and get me jerky because I'm never going to eat it again because I am not about to pay. This was, I think, $15.
Yeah, it's expensive. You can
It
get a whole
is.
meal for $15, but then you got this
Exactly.
little thing of jerky.
You could get 15 things of ramen noodles. Like, come on.
And
You
still
got
have a
half of
little
them.
bit of change left over
You got-
because they're
you got-
99 cents.
You could have enough to get
that after or
another
before
little
tax?
something that you put in the ramen, and that'll make you feel like a bougie bitch.
I don't think food is taxed, if I'm remembering. It's either food or drink that does not have a tax to it. when you go shopping.
I'm pretty sure food has a tax to it.
Does it? Okay. That
I
makes
Yeah, I
sense.
think
I'm pretty sure
everything
everything's
has-
taxed. It
Well,
might
no,
be
I-
based on state to state,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
but I'm pretty sure it's generally safe to say
let me know
if
in
you're
the
getting
comments.
food, it's taxed.
Yeah, let me know. in the
I-
comments. I don't care.
I come from a frozen hellscape, so like we just half the time you don't have to worry about taxes for your food. You just eat what your sled dog finds.
That's fair.
And normally
so
it might be a square on the ground. Square
I was gonna
squirrel.
say it might be a moose.
Square of snow. Oh, dude, honestly though, moose is so good.
I've never had it. You know what's
Oh,
really
my-
good though? Duck.
Duck is
That's
good. Duck is
really-
very good.
We my great uncle, he's a hunter, and like their whole family are hunters, and he make like whenever they bag a moose, he'll get some smoked moose jerky, and I'm
I
like,
was about to ask like how it's
Oh.
prepared.
and I'm like this. Like I've never been somebody who I've never been somebody who is over dramatic or oversells or
Yeah,
engages
not
in
at all.
hyperbole by any means. This food is better than sex. It's so good.
So
Please
know-
don't tell my girlfriend that I said that.
oh well, I hope she listens. To
Hey,
the
Haley!
podcast. My thing is I saw a post that was saying to all those people that writes their food is better than sex. ... Are you being properly taken care of in the bedroom?
Do you need to like get a little bit extra, get a little bit
Yeah.
sympathy in the
I
bedroom?
will.
Yeah, it's-
Whenever I hear
listen,
somebody
it's
say
fine.
that, I just think of one of my favorite bits of all time from season 4 or season 3 of the first Netflix Castlevania show, when Trevor and Sypha go to this town after slaying monsters, and they're just exhausted, and all Trevor wants is a beer, and he brings in some monsters, and he's like, "How much?" "For just one beer, I'll have some coin in a minute." He's like, "You killed that monster, so it's free." And he's just so happy. And then he takes one sip and he goes, "That is better than sex." And Cypher's like, "Excuse me, better than sex?" And she freezes the beer on him. And so it's
It-
frozen in his mug.
It's-
And he
He just goes
turns
like-
it up and pours it out, and it just slushes to the ground. And
Aw.
the look of dismay on him, it's so good.
I'm just picturing
He deserved it.
Zombieland, man. Woody Harrelson's
Oh,
character
Tallahassee.
hunting for the Twinkie. Yeah.
How do I remember that? It's been like 15 years since I watched that movie.
Did any
Yeah,
of
that's
you
because
ever watch
Zombieland's a
the
good
second
movie.
one?
No.
No,
Like,
I
honestly,
forgot.
I thought the second one was something that like I dreamed up.
A fever
Because,
dream?
like, I
No.
never saw it anywhere, but I remembered like someone mentioned there was a second one. But I was like, I never saw it anywhere. Or...
God, I wish
No.
I dreamed of the Dragon Ball Evolution movie and the
I
Avatar: The
heard
Last Airbender movie.
stories. I heard stories about Dragon Ball where the guy who played the protagonist in it
Apologize for the film.
yeah, but apparently during the process of filming it, he started to read and watch Dragon Ball, and apparently he grew to hate the movie because he's like, this is not at all right.
Well-
And apparently the guy who played Piccolo like had fights with the directors over it because he was like, no, Piccolo is supposed to be green. I'm playing him. Let me be green. And he like, I never watched the movie, so I have no idea if it was successful or not, but he would like
He
go
was.
behind the director's back and be like, make me green.
So
Which like a lot of the team on it, again, I'm not a
Hated it.
Dragon Ball fan, I haven't watched it, but like a lot of the people on it clearly, from what I can gather, cared and knew what they were doing is bad. Don't hate all the people in the
No,
in the
absolutely
process
not.
of making your media because you don't like your media. A lot of them know these are problems and a lot of them wish they could solve it, but they literally can't because some
Yeah.
corporate bigwig is
Now-
telling them to no.
you could still hate the product, and that
Yeah,
means that there may be a
100%.
better chance that it gets changed in the future. But do you know the YouTube channel CinemaSins?
Yeah, I'm not a
Yes.
fan.
Understandable
Why
because
not?
the humor it's
just-
definitely not for everybody.
I just find it boring.
If you
be
at the
honest,
very least,
waiting.
I would recommend watching the Dragon Ball Evolution one because he does actually go through pointing out a majority of all the different mistakes
Yeah.
between the TV show and the anime. And while you're at it, watch the one for Titanic because he goes through and he does a tally of how many times the names Jack and Rose are said. And if I remember right, in the entire 3-hour movie, it was said over 300 times.
Jesus, that
Yeah.
seems
You won't forget their
absurd.
names.
Yeah.
It's
Jack, Rose, Jack, Rose.
it like nothing against the channel. It's just
Yeah.
not for me.
No,
But
and
like,
I think that's
I don't know.
fair.
And I'm not big on like it's such a formulaic setup. It's also
Oh,
why
for
like
sure.
I can't watch like I don't really like watching say Watch Mojo or something because I'm like every one of these videos feels so much the same, and that may be the point. And if people
Yeah.
like that point, more power to you. You do you. Like I'm a Sonic fan. I can't tell anybody what to like. Like I'm a genuine big Sonic fan. I cannot tell anybody what you should like.
You're a Sonic fan. What you like is different from what other Sonic fans like.
So-
There are literally 3 different
Oh.
types of Sonic fans out there. And if
Oh,
you make
I'm
one
not-
Sonic game, the other 2 fans are going to hate those games.
So
I'm so not looking forward to like the next year now that Superstars has been out for a while because now we're gonna have like a million video essays that are Sonic Superstars is a terrible buggy mess. Sonic Superstars is the underrated game in the series. Sonic Superstars is a high point. Sonic Superstars is the low
yeah,
point.
but
And
Sonic
all of them
Adventure
bitching
Battle
at each
2,
other.
I mean, City Escape.
There are like I said,
There's-
there's 3 different fans.
there's like with the Sonic community, there's like one thing the community can agree on, and that's Sonic 2.
Yeah.
OG Sonic 2 is just like the perfect platformer.
I think it's called Sonic Mania is the one that my kid played.
Yeah.
So, Parker, you will
Mm.
probably remember there's a level
Fun.
where you're kind of going up and down on ramps. The robots are shooting a missile at you. You have to jump on the blue one to have it crash into the robot. It's like
Studiopolis boss fight.
yes. There was one day my kid asked me to help. I lost 4 times to this boss.
I
He
lost a few times on my first time.
Takes the
Of it.
controller back and beats it his first try.
Yes.
Why did you ask
Let's
for
go,
my help
little dude,
first of
let's
all?
go.
Second
No,
of all,
see,
how
here's the
dare
thing.
you
Yes.
do this to me?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
He saw how you were failing, and his mind went, I got this
Yes.
now.
Uh-huh.
I know how
Love
to
to see
not
it.
do this.
You'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Way to
I
go,
will
dude.
improve from
Way
your
to
failure.
go.
I'm
Let's
pretty-
go.
If I remember right, I think he actually has beaten the game entirely.
The Sonic Mania is a great.
It is,
Like-
and it was such a good like love letter to the first game.
So that's the thing, right? That's the fans that
Oh.
love those first style of games.
The
So that's
the
also about that.
amount of moments in Sonic Mania when I played it that like I screamed about. And honestly, Sonic Frontiers as well had that. Though I'd argue Sonic Frontiers is not necessarily a great video game, but I still really liked it until the DLC came out. The DLC was fucking atrocious.
As
But
it is.
There's DLC.
no, like okay, so without getting too into it, Sonic Frontiers has multiple supersonic, like epic Dragon Ball boss fights.
Yes.
They're cinematic as hell. The music that plays during them, every single song is the definition of a banger. And it's so good, but it's supersonic. And they're not really well-made fights because they're a spectacle. They're not like a tight. You're not having to fucking punch out Dark Souls
I would
fight.
say you're not
having
really fighting.
you're having a cinematic scene where you look like a badass for as much as you can look like a badass as a 3-foot tall hedgehog with blue eyes, green
But
eyes, whatever the fuck
are
it
you
is.
Super Saiyan Hedgehog at that
You
time?
are.
That
But
helps.
what the problem is in the DLC, you have to do 3 of those fights in a row with all your stats in the game, including your total ring count, back to as they were at the start of the game.
Ooh.
All of these fights you have to do in one run. No checkpoints, nothing. You cannot pick up more rings, and why that's a problem, because for those who don't know how Supersonic works, you have to collect a certain threshold of rings, and then your rings deplete. If they hit 0, you have to do all of them. Multiple of these boss fights are boss fights that have at least 5-second long intervals of you can't do anything if you miss an attack. You have 400 seconds to beat 3 of them, and you have to do all of the preludes, little bits of like getting up to the top of the fight where you can take damage during these fights before you go Super Saiyan. It is awful, and whoever made it, I just want to talk to them.
So here's the thing.
Why,
Like,
though?
if we're gonna talk about awful boss fight situations, I want to talk about the first Kingdom Hearts when you fight Riku towards the end with
With Hollow
the
Bastion,
Kyrie's inside.
you're not
me.
taking Kyrie's
There's
heart.
no way you're taking Kyrie's heart. Yeah,
Oh,
that was awful because you couldn't skip the
Skip.
cutscene. So by the end of it, I'm making fun of the entire scene.
Yes,
It worked
yes.
because I lost,
You
like,
say it
30
in line with
times.
them.
Yeah,
It's it wasn't Kingdom Hearts because
Which fight was that again?
that
You-
was
you fight Riku and Hollow Bastion.
Am
Right
I just
before-
crazy to say I never
Yes.
had any issues with any fights in that game ever, except for like the secret hidden fights?
I had issues with that fight. Not too many, but I died once or twice on that fight, and I had a lot of issues with the final boss. And
My main
that
thing
final
was
boss fucked
I
me when I
was
was a teenager.
using because as a kid I didn't pick the more powerful weapon. I picked whichever
Yeah.
one looked coolest. So I wanted
Oh.
to still have, I think, the Hercules sword, and by that time it
Oh,
was heavily outclassed. So
Yeah,
I'm
that
getting,
was back when they were very much.
yeah, I was
you were
getting
getting
my
better
ass kicked
keyblades as
as
you
soon
go.
as I upgraded to, I think it was the Pumpkin King one that is
Yeah.
like triple the power. I mopped the floor with Riku.
The Halloween Town Keyblade is like the
Yes.
best
Yeah.
one in like every game.
Yes.
Correlation does not equal causation, but in this case it does.
So one problem that I had with the game is that I think it was whichever one you get from Kyrie, I can't remember what it's called. The whole like friendship is magic thing. Here's a Keyblade out of it. The fact that that was not one of the more powerful ones, like that it was weaker than a majority of them, was kind of surprising to me.
It's
I'll be
yeah,
honest.
there's a lot of like weird Keyblades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then-
Some that
Well,
aren't great.
if I'm not mistaken, some of them like their attack was horrible, but their magic was higher. So it's
Yeah,
like this was
yeah.
made for
Fairy Switch is
spellcasting.
one of them.
KH2 gave like every one of them some utility.
Right.
There were some.
Yeah, Fairy
Some
Swish
jank
would like
ones.
max out your magic bar,
Yeah,
but it felt like you were getting hit with a piece of paper.
it's and like
Was that
that's
great?
it's something that like at least for me, early Kingdom Hearts games, like if they're not weak to a specific magic, just block and combo.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
you'll for the most part be fine. Or do the real pro strat, which is also what you do if you're playing Sora and Smash Bros. You just Sonic Rave. and you just
Ah,
same with
hey!
especially if you're playing Chain of Memories.
Never beat Chain of
fuck
Memories.
Chain of Memories.
I
Fuck
actually
Chain of
beat it.
Memories.
I got really
You're good.
far into it. I want
I
to
beat it.
say I
Solid
did.
Grave.
It was there's
That's
this
how I beat it.
ice dude that I am completely walled at, and I could
Dexon.
Oh,
grind.
didn't he have
and
like a
level
shield
up,
or yeah?
Yeah,
but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not about to grind and level.
he can
up
burn
like
in
that.
hell.
I've already played
So-
3. I know how.
Same
it
with
is.
Replica Riku.
No, all of Chain of Memories was fucking awful.
It's a
That game
slog.
was
I liked it.
horrid.
I liked
It's
it.
just
I'm
you want to know
sorry
what
to
makes
hear
it bad?
that.
It's the card system. The card
Yes.
system just did not fit.
I had no like. I don't think it was well balanced at all. But
No, it wasn't.
It's okay
I
to be
did
wrong.
not
Parker.
dislike. I did not dislike the battles in it. But it's funny because I'm in the minority who I'm like Birth by Sleep. I love that story. I love how much it traumatizes me every time. Aqua, you deserve so much better than that stupid fucking rat ever gave you. Yes, I'm still on it.
No, keep going.
But that battle system, no. I do not like the Birth by Sleep Dream Drop Distance battle
I think
system at
that's
all.
fair. My favorite battle system that they've done is still to this day, the Valor form. in
Okay,
Dota
That is
2.
good.
Yep.
Yes.
KH2, like, I would legitimately stake as one of the best combat systems of all time. And when you include the final mix stuff, like, it is one of the few times where I think a battle system gets to live up to its full potential, gets to have, like, a critical mode that's genuinely challenging but not fucking obnoxiously frustrating,
Yep.
and genuinely offers you a
You know what?
ton of variety in what you can do. It's the one of the best combat systems of all time.
You know what? You just made me think of. I'm a Soulsborne player. I love every types of Soulsborne style game. I play Kingdom Hearts and I see this game and I'm just like, holy shit, this is harder than Dark Souls and people are able to beat these fucking bosses.
Like,
Yeah,
Kingdom
some of
Hearts
them.
gets
They're
you.
ridiculous.
Like, I have multiple people that I know that stopped playing Kingdom Hearts 1, which they played in their adulthood because Ursula was too hard to beat for them.
What?
Okay.
And I remember
Ursula.
I
is
remember
rough.
Ursula being a bitch. I remember it being a bitch of a fight. And I also
It
know,
was easy.
I mean, and that's the best part is like I remember multiple fights from the series that people were like, were so tough. Even the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, the DLC, which one of the best DLC packs of all time. I don't care. It's so good.
Your best DLC pack.
Nah, that's all
Shut
you
up.
give me.
You know what? I do
The,
realize too that I didn't play original. I played, I think it was 1.5, which
Yep.
is what it technically was. So
Yes.
I don't know if they
much better
changed anything.
balanced. They did.
Okay.
They did.
It's much better balanced. It's much more friendly to the beginning. And
So
in
I had to
1.5,
mention
you
that.
can skip the cutscenes. So the biggest problem people had with that Riku fight is also because you had like
Gone.
a 5-minute fight before.
Yeah, and the
It-
cutscene was also like 5 minutes.
It was so long. It was
Yeah.
so long. It
I could walk to the kitchen, grab like a Pepsi
Yeah.
and water or something like that, come back, and the cutscene like there was no concern in my mind.
So that
It's,
may be where a lot of my thoughts and such come through, is because I played
Exactly.
the 1.5.
Yeah.
The one was
Exactly.
a 1.5 to 3.5, which was
yeah,
like that huge like
1.5, 2.5 HD
Do you,
remix.
want to
Yeah.
know how many times it took me to beat Ursula on I think it's Proud mode is the hardest mode?
Yep.
77.
I like it.
You want to
I'll
know
let
how
you
many
know.
times it took me to beat Pokemon Heart Gold with only a Venomoth, the final red fight? 153.
And
And
why
I
did you
got-
do this to yourself?
Because
Challenge vote.
I knew Venomoth could do it, and
So-
I also knew that Tangy would give me so much shit if I did not beat a bug Pokemon run with a bug Pokemon that she recommended.
Also, all I can think of is you doing this, Bricker. I just had to
know
give
that
yeah.
I know the
because I've lost control
yeah.
of my life.
But like it's so funny how different people struggle because like the KH3 Remind stuff. Yozora, yeah, that was a fight that took me hours to beat. It's so hard. I love it so much. It's so good. The Data Shion fight, oh my god, I legitimately think it almost gave me an ulcer. I think it caused testicular damage. It was so hard. I love it so much. It's genuinely so good.
Did you
But
just
then
say
there are
It caused testicular.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't
No,
worry about
hold
it.
on. Wait,
it's okay.
Did you
Don't worry
like
about
just
it.
take your controller and just go foomp onto your hip or
Listen,
something?
sometimes you do things in the heat of the moment.
Sometimes you just get so mad you pop a blood vessel. You never know.
You pop a
But
anyway.
but there's like a ranking that most people say like this is the hardest or the easiest fight. Data Shion and Yozora were two fights that kicked the shit out of me. But excluding those, I think the fight that I struggled the most with was what people called the second easiest fight. And for whatever reason, it just kicked my ass. And the best part is it was a fight in KH2 final mix as well. And everybody said it's way easier in that. It was the hardest fight for me in that game too.
What fight?
Luxord. I don't know why. It's this fucking card game. Bullshit. I hate him so much.
Yeah, that's
I
what
hope
had
he
zero
suffers.
issues with. That's
I
funny.
hope he suffers. He is why I don't like card games.
Dude.
I hope he suffers.
The one that I remember suffering with was the Ice Titan. It was one of the secret fights in Kingdom Hearts 1, the Ice Titan in Hercules Land.
But then
I didn't obviously ever get to finish the Sephiroth fight because I lost the save file, but stepping on the beach.
Oh.
But I remember I really struggled, and the thing is, it wasn't that it was necessarily a difficult fight. It's just it was long, and if you messed up once, you're done.
It's that's something that a lot of Kingdom Hearts games do. Like I struggled a fair bit in KH2 Final Mix with the Roxas one-on-one fight at first.
Oh, yeah,
and part of what made it so frustrating is because of, and this is my own fault, but he attacks you the second you're available. Like the first thing you do in that fight is you hit square. You hit square. Or you will lose. You will lose. And it kept doing that, and it would throw me off so much more. So I'd be like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
And I'm dead. Yeah, it's like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Not wrong
with it. And then, well, like, and Remind, the final fight in that with Yozora, it got me so much because one of his lines when he wins is having freaking Cole Sprouse or Dylan Sprouse, I don't know, one of them going, "You thought you'd win?" And I'm like, "No, I did not think I'd win, you stupid fuck. I did not think I was gonna win this.
But I also didn't think I'd lose this badly.
You piece of shit."
You're like, this is not the sweet life.
Of Zach and Cody?
Or Sweet Life on Deck. Yes. The Perndle bar. Do you want to listen to the radio? Do you want to listen to AM or
God damn it.
I'm so happy that show actually kind of holds up because I remember loving it as a kid, but I always look back at the stuff I liked as a kid and I'm like, would it be good? Yeah, and I look back at so many, specifically bits with Mr. Mosby, and I'm like, these are great. Like, these are so good.
The thing is, like, that, Phineas and Ferb, those are the two shows that I think hold up the best because with Mr. Mosby, like, Mr. Mosby generally cared about London and was, like, trying to teach lessons. And then with Phineas and Ferb, like, there was a whole episode about the boys getting sent to a detention camp and what, like, having your creativity taken away from you at a young age can actually do to a person. Like, yeah, it's kind of insane.
Like, and that's there's so many, like, that's what made, and I don't watch all of the shows that kids are into nowadays, but like from what I see, that's one of the things that separates a lot of the shows from the late 90s and 2000s is so many of them struck a great balance in teaching people things, but also just being entertaining and funny. Sure, we also had SpongeBob. SpongeBob, for the most part, was funny. It had a few episodes that were really good, but it also had some genuine, heartfelt portrayals of things here and there. And I would actually argue, even if it's not my favorite, that the best episode ever made of The Simpsons is the I Love Lisa episode with the Valentine's cards. No, it's the I choose you. And where Lisa gives Ralph a card on Valentine's because he's the only one in the class that doesn't get one, and he immediately falls in love with her. Because not only is it genuinely hilarious, the amount of bits from that show are great, but you also get a really good showing of the Wiggum family and how Chief Wiggum has a dad who's doing his best and he's trying to support his son. And then you also get what I think is a pretty earnest portrayal of kids growing infatuated with each other,
See-
getting a crush and not knowing what that means.
Yeah, that honestly.
Responding in a good,
yeah.
like learning from it after a pretty brutal rejection from Lisa, which gives one of the best lines in the show ever of you can actually pinpoint the second his heart rips in half.
Yeah,
Like that's
because he actually just ends up dying. Or looks like he ends up dying.
That's
It's
why
like- it's one of my favorites.
there's two shows that I always kind of mention when it comes to like having a decent mix of heartfelt comedy and also teaching genuinely good life sometimes
Please say it.
lessons.
Please say it.
We're gonna ignore any remakes or sequels because some people like them. I'm not the biggest fan, but one being Boy Meets World because Mr.
I
Feeney
won't disagree.
is
Yeah.
an incredible human being,
100%.
and then Teen Titans.
Oh, Teen Titans.
Avatar:
those
The
were not
Last
what I was
Airbender
gonna
is
say,
pretty damn
but-
close, but yeah.
I've never
What's
seen
that? What
Boy
was
Meets
pretty damn
World.
close?
Avatar: The Last Airbender would be like number 3.
That was also
but-
not the one I was thinking, but
What were
those
you
were all
thinking? I'm
correct.
curious.
Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, good show.
Oh my god, what a
Yeah.
show.
Like honestly, I would say you could tell me Hey Arnold is the best cartoon ever made, and I'd be like, even
That's
if it's
fair.
not my favorite,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
won't. I don't know if I'll
um,
disagree.
I was
It was-
very
Yeah,
much
but
a Boy Meets
so
World kid
incredible.
growing up, and don't get me wrong, there are definitely some problems with it, especially because like it was made in the '90s, like where we are now as a society. It's like, maybe that's not the best thing to say, but overall, it had genuine life lessons. It had very good acting after the first season, and it just there. The my favorite quote is still the very end of the episode when he says, I think it was dream, do good. And somebody's like, don't you mean do well? And he's like, no, I mean do good. And it's something that always kind of stuck with me.
And like that a modern show that I would say, well, not for kids, for adults, that I think does a pretty good job. It also has its fair bit of like sitcom-y moments that I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of, but I think overall has a ton of heart. And I feel for it how the show kind of had to pivot with what happened in 2020 was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because
So
my
good.
favorite episode of that show will probably always be the episode where and like I apologize, it might get intense for some people listening to this, but the episode where Jake and Amy are dealing with a sexual assault case where
Yeah.
a
that's
woman
really
takes
good
a
episode.
golf club at her boss
Mhm.
when he comes on to her. And I just remember the scene where Amy says, "This has happened to every woman I know." And Jake just goes, "Every time I think I understand how bad it is so much worse." And I'm like, that's literally,
Yep.
like, that's literally, that's it.
The
it.
episode of that show, and it happens very early on, that got me hooked to it was when, and I'm sorry for dropping the word because I know that it can be offensive to some, but I want to say the guy either calls Captain Holt, it was the old cop, either calls him a queer
calls him
or
homo.
Homo, okay.
Yeah.
And
Jake
Jake
pushes
just
him in the pool.
punches him across
Yeah.
the face. Like, obviously, like, we don't want to use violence as the answer. However,
However,
that's what got
violence
me
is
hooked
now
on.
the
Yeah, well, that's what got me
It,
hooked on the show,
um,
because it showed that it was a character that actually gave a damn. And I feel like a lot of shows nowadays, especially, whenever they have a tense moment, they immediately try to follow it up with a laugh. And I don't
Yeah.
I don't want that. That's why that 70s show was so hard for me to digest, because anytime anything serious happened, there was a laugh shortly
Laugh
after. I'm
track.
like, I'm not.
We can't have them cry. We gotta have them
Yeah,
funnies
like,
now.
That's why
It's
I liked.
what-
funnies
Yeah.
24/7.
Well, and that's why I liked How I Met Your Mother when
I was thinking
Barney-
the same thing.
Yeah, when Barney met his child at the end,
Oh.
I sobbed, and it ended on a very sweet, somber note.
If only didn't have to ruin another character and then just double back to that growth
we're
anyway,
not
and it
gonna
was
talk
just what they
about
did from the get-go. Not to mention Marshall's dad. That's the
Oh
one that
my
got
god,
me.
that was such a good one. And also, like, as much as I love Big Bang Theory, that's one thing that kind of upset me, is that, like, when Howard's mom dies, it's this very sweet moment from Sheldon, and then Penny ruins it with a laugh, and I'm like, well, now this episode kind of falls flat.
I don't know that show well enough to
Yeah, but
say it's not my cup
Yeah.
of tea, but
and that's fair.
the
Marshall's
but,
dad,
like,
though. Oof.
there are so many, and honestly that's the thing, is that it's why it doesn't get serious, but it's one of the things that I really like it's like it doesn't get anywhere near that serious. One of the things I really like about Parks and Rec is when your comedy is just there to only make you laugh, you get Family Guy. And like Family Guy all you want, that's totally fine. But it's a very, like, I feel like Family Guy is a very small window for people before it gets old.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's just going to throw jokes at
Jackal,
you. And that's
listen,
totally,
Jackal.
some people, like, there are some hilarious bits. The bit where Peter's running through the forest in clown getup with all the soldiers, and he's like, "You're stupid. They're looking for army guys." That's incredible. That's so good.
Yeah, but what
you
about the
have,
chicken?
Oh god.
I never found the chicken funny because it just
Yeah.
and that's just my problem. It, doesn't end.
drags on
bit is
so
just
long.
How long can we keep
Like
it
it
going?
is legitimately beating a dead horse, except
Yeah.
it's a chicken.
The but like it's one of the things about Parks and Rec that I think is really good is that Parks and Rec isn't a sitcom that I would say just jump in and watch 3 episodes wherever. You got to watch it in order because the growth of these characters and the way they progress is so important.
Yes.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine I think also
Right.
I that pretty well.
I
And-
will say Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think you can, and obviously there's a few episodes that connect to prior ones, but I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you can jump in just about any.
It's more I'd
As
say
long
with
as
Brooklyn
it's
Nine-Nine
not
it's more
in
that
the
like
beginning or end of a season.
you know that they're like it'll reference previous things
Yeah.
and it'll give you the context, but you might not be missing out.
Yeah.
But like Parks and Rec, and that's what makes it. That's also what makes it so much better to me. Excuse me, than like The Office, because I think it had such a better bit of actual growth. It's
No,
also
I
why
can see
people
that.
hate the last minutes of How I Met Your Mother because
You know,
all of this
It
stuff
took
that
it
they're
all
building
threw it
on.
away.
Well, and especially Barney. Like, I love that last moment. Why did we grow, drop him off for 10 minutes, and then pick him back up
Yep.
to do that again?
Yep.
Like, why? You had such a good growth for this character. Why did we have to backpedal?
I don't know.
Why did we sidestep for a second and then come back in?
Rhino, what were you gonna say?
Sorry.
the best part about all this is I have never seen any of these fucking shows.
know,
Not
like-
a single minute of it.
Like that's the thing of like, man, out of all of the like media that we could discuss, the ones that impacted us most is the shit that Rhino has never even seen.
No, because what did I do all my time? I went home and played video games with people and such. I'm
Gee.
just a gamer.
And hey,
I
there
mean,
ain't
we
nothing
can-
wrong with that.
We can, I can all, there's a ton of video games. I mean, I'm wearing
Oh no,
a hat
I'm
for
fine.
one.
It's cool.
I can talk all about Final Fantasy VII and how much Cloud means to me as a character.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about video games that hit us emotionally hard in the feels, Majora's Mask, the fact that Crimea was getting Romani drunk as hell off the milk the third night, just so she wouldn't feel pain or scared when the moon
the
comes
kid's
crashing
dad.
down.
Or the kid's dad that gets mummified.
Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me as
It's-
a kid.
Okay, all of Majora's Mask was just one giant horror game
But-
made in 6 months.
I do want to say the fact that when that coffin pops open and he starts stumbling towards you, if you take a look inside the coffin, there's actually a little mummified teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
And
I
it's-
think that's
and-
cute.
I thought it was the
other,
kids.
No.
Like there, any games that have like a big, really hits you moment, like it's really tough to do, especially because nowadays, like like you'll know that a moment is coming. Like it's why something like
Yeah.
Doki Doki Literature Club is so tough to go in and like enjoy because
Oh my
you
God.
know to
Also,
expect
spoilers,
something.
but spoiler alert for everything, by the way.
I mean,
I
I'm
didn't-
not gonna
so-
Hey,
spoil
Victor,
it.
how did you enjoy the
DDLC
game?
is great.
I went, in,
DDLC is a great game.
I
but,
went into
like,
Doki Doki Literature
You know that
Club.
something is gonna happen.
I knew something
Yes.
was going to happen, but I didn't
Yeah,
know
me
where,
too.
when, or
It still
how.
got
The
me.
game still absolutely terrified me.
Oh yeah, it still got to me.
Victor,
Like, it
she
was
just has a wandering eye.
You
I don't know
shut
why
your
you're getting
face. You
so
shut your
upset about
face.
her
You
wandering
shut your
eye.
face.
just Monica.
Just Monica. Just Monica.
Both you bitches.
It
No.
I never played the game. I've seen it played through multiple times, and I've
It's-
seen every single ending, including the good endings.
Ugh,
Yes, there are good
um,
endings to the game.
I don't believe you.
You
I
have to get
mean-
through all the bad endings.
No, I don't want
I'll also like you want to talk a game that threw you for a loop.
Undertale.
Go from well, it's funny that you say Undertale because go from Earthbound to Mother 3. Go from a happy-go-lucky game with some really dark subtext into a game where right off the bat, one of the most iconic opening moments of this game is somebody going up to Lucas's dad and saying, "Hey, but I'm not worried about spoiling it because it's an hour, not even an hour into the game, going, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news, check out this awesome dagger. I made it out of a tooth of a dragon. The bad news, I found it in your wife's chest."
Oh my god. That's like an
Oh.
hour
Other
into
series is amazing.
That's like an hour into The Last of Us 2, fucking Joel dies. And
Oh,
everybody like
God,
what pisses me off about that
I wish
whole
I could
game.
like it.
What pisses me off about that whole game, and if you don't like it for like the storyline, etc., that's fine. Like I get that. It's not gonna be for everybody. That's how games are in general. But the fact that
Yes.
everybody wrote the game off simply because a character they liked died
It's
irritates me.
well, then like a lot of people were mad at Naughty Dog for that because we don't like that they marketed it as though Joel was more in the game and
They
like,
did not.
but
They
also
did
like,
not.
you're
Okay,
mad that
no,
they didn't spoil it.
Well,
Go watch any
right.
modern
Well-
Square Enix game. Go onto YouTube and look at Square Enix's YouTube channel. Anytime they put up a trailer that says final trailer, and watch there be a massive spoiler in it. It's infuriating. If you're a Square Enix fan, never click
Never
something
watched
that
Not
says
only that,
final trailer.
Joel was still in a fuck ton of the game
Yeah.
in flashbacks and like shit with Ellie, so like building upon that world. Like he was in a good portion of the game.
Like I wasn't a fan of part 2 for so many reasons. I really didn't like how they walked back one of the best and most nuanced characters in the medium. I really didn't like that this very layered and complex theme just boiled down to, from the first game, just boiled down this time to revenge is bad.
Yeah.
Like I think part 1 did such a better job, and there were so many times where they had the potential to really go in to all of the like the different sides of whether or not what Joel did was correct, especially the little bit with Abby's dad where like
yeah.
you have it building, and then they're just like, but what if we instead now pivoted into nonsense so we could get a bunch of shocking character
Yeah.
deaths because we care more about shock value. And like it's there's so much about that game that's like so close to being there for me, but in like every aspect of the game it just doesn't get there, and that's what makes me so mad because I'm like, I see it. I loved the first game so much and I see the potential for this damn game, and I just feel like it
just
never
wasn't there.
gets there.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
kinda like
here
Final
I
Fantasy
am.
VIII.
I'm
that
here.
too.
Here I am
So
as
much
one of the
potential.
people who looked at The Last of Us and thought this game just genuinely is not good. I don't think it's that good of a game.
And
I mean,
I know the
okay.
story itself is great.
It's a
but
movie
then-
basically. Like,
yeah,
it's why the series does so well. Like, it's a well-told story.
Yeah,
but
it was
the
kinda one of
gameplay
it's
those,
a
is
like,
nothing.
story, but that's about it.
For me, it was kind of the turn of the gaming industry of going from very simple, quick kind of cutscenes to being more cinematic. And I think
Based
that's one
off
of the reasons
Uncharted, yeah.
why it did so well and why it sticks in
Oh, yeah.
people's heads so much is because it was one of the first games that actually did that. That's like with Mass Effect, for example. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that aside from, the third ending that people hated, I think the reason that people liked it so much is because it's one of the few games that the choices that you made in the first game actually
my favorite
influenced the second and
I
third.
killed my favorite character in Mass Effect 2. My first
was it?
playthrough, and
I-
I'm still angry.
Who was it?
Garrus. My boy Garrus.
Garrus?
Oh, he died.
I didn't really know what I was doing, so I didn't really realize that was a potential. I
No.
figured after the first game, if anyone was going to die, it was going to be basically you have to pick one of them. You have to pick who.
Oh, you
of them
have to
dies.
pick who dies.
At the end of the first game, there are two characters. You literally just have to choose. It tells you one of us is about to die. Who do you save? But
I always hate that because I feel like
think-
there should be a way to save people, but no. Fallout did the same fucking thing. It's either you die or you save your dad, or save your dad, or your dad dies.
If you download the DLC, you can sim Fox the super mutant into there, and
Yeah.
nobody dies, and they call you the brilliant savior, being able to use someone's natural immunity to your own advantage, but you have to have.
Why
the
couldn't I?
DLC.
But it had the DLC. Why couldn't I have done
yeah.
it from the get go?
I agree.
But I would say for part of also with The Last of Us, and not to like generalize groups, but I think what The Last of Us did, I think it also like that story experience was, I think, what a lot of people felt 10, 15 years prior with games like Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy VII. Like, where it was like the first time you really thought, like, a game can tell this intense of a story
Right.
in different ways, and people respond to stories in different ways. So for some people, Final Fantasy 7 or 10, however good the stories are, wouldn't be as impactful as The Last of Us, and that's totally fair. You do
Right.
you.
Yes.
But like, there are just it was one of the first times for a lot of people and for a generation really that pushed, and that's why right after so many games tried to emulate it. Look at how every fucking PlayStation first party game that isn't Spider-Man right now tries to play like The Last of Us, and it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Because why would we care about Ape
However-
Escape or Gravity Rush?
However, Days Gone, while they did have a lot of the same scavenging system as The Last of Us, Days Gone is actually a pretty killer game with a really decent
Wasn't-
storyline.
Wasn't Days Gone also like a bit more of an open world instead of the linear thing
It
that
was. You
yeah.
you travel the entire map on a motorcycle,
Yeah.
because obviously you want to look cool while you're doing it.
right,
but
as you do.
yeah, you scavenge to make items, you get guns and upgrades and stuff like that along the way. Basically, every zombie that you kill, you skin off their ear, turn it into the camp that you're of your choosing to show that, hey, I actually did this. They give you credits, then you use those credits to actually buy things. It's actually a pretty decent game.
I've like I think that's also like part of why people didn't think it was good is like Days Gone came out right near the tail end of, I think, the kind of the aftermath of The Last of Us, where like
Yeah.
people wanted, or at least a lot of execs thought people wanted, like, push the big, we want the biggest triple A big budget games, and now you're especially seeing
Can we
with
just
like
never do that?
with like Kickstarter games. Well, no, they all have their place. If it fits your game, it fits your game. Like FF7 Remake is one of the Rebirth is one of the most
No,
impressive video games ever made.
I'm
Full stop.
I'm
But
more so
it
saying
works there.
I'm
But
more
it
so
also is a
saying
game.
can we stop just marketing things
Oh, yeah.
as this is the biggest thing ever?
Yeah.
Because
All the
To be
let me
fair,
tell you,
they
they
do
ain't.
They do that because they're trying to get the sale and make people.
They're trying to get
hyped,
enough.
But
I
at
mean,
this
yeah.
point, we're just kind of sick of it.
10 years ago, don't forget, just 10 years ago, like right now for a lot of studios in marketing, it seems like the hours it takes to do everything, but 10 years ago it was the map size.
Yeah.
And there was like right around 2015, I remember Just Cause 3, Fallout 4, Xenoblade Chronicles X, all games that one of the big things people pushed about them is look how big the map is. And like,
And
Yeah,
they still
X
refuse
is
to
like the only
actually
game with
fill
a-
the map with a bunch of different.
Yeah,
things.
Xenoblade
Hey.
X built it. Xenoblade X did it real well.
Welcome
I'm just
to-
saying, Monolith stuff.
I
Welcome
will
to
say
one
the
of the-
Fallout series did a good job filming it.
Welcome to one of the things I dislike about the recent Zelda games. It's a pretty big map. I'm now
It's-
running around for 20 minutes with nothing happening.
Trying to find a shrine.
It's and honestly, that is where I think Breath and Tears start to fall.
Yeah.
When you're just basically, I'm going in this direction and whatever happens, happens, it's great. But when you're specifically looking for something, or you have to do something in a specific order, which Tears of the Kingdom of is very guilty of, the amount of times I got to a place and I'm like, there's clearly a thing here. Oh no, I can't do it because 20 feet back that way that I had no idea because I came in from a completely different direction. I had to do all this other shit, and now this place is open. And it's like, how was I supposed to know that? I'm just sitting here dicking around going, I can clearly see this thing,
Yes.
but I can't do anything
That's-
with it because I didn't do arbitrary thing number 42 back
Right.
that way.
That's part of the reason why when it first came out, I did not like Wind Waker because I felt that it was a very, now that I'm older, I will say I do enjoy it, but when it first came out, I'm like, this is a really open map. There is fuck all to do right now, and like
At
the
80%
very
of these
least,
squares.
At the very least, in every square, there was one thing going on, at least in every single square.
Right, and
and-
I didn't.
But
really
back then, you
realize
never would
that
have think
as a
about
kid,
it.
yeah.
No.
Wind Waker, I think, did a good job of the same thing that some early RPGs did really well and a lot did not do well, is they kind of tell you where to go, but then they also present you this massive open world, and it's like, okay, but am I supposed to just go this way because that is the only place that I can do something, or can I go explore?
Right.
Now, like with Ocarina of Time, I remember it took me forever to figure out like to do the right thing because I was like, look at all these other things I can do. I want to see them, and then I'll go do that. Turns out, no, all these things weren't
You
going to
can't
open
do
up
any of that.
until you
Yeah.
went to that place,
Now-
and I'm like, that might not be a bad place to
Yeah.
railroad me and just go go here.
I will say that as much as we give the character shit, Navi does actually do a pretty decent job at telling you
Okay.
where you should go next.
To
He's also not
be
annoying neither is
fair.
I.
To be fair, that's like the only thing she's good at. The other thing she'll do is like, hey, listen. It's like, I know where I'm going. I'm trying to go there.
So,
Leave me
again,
alone.
We're also, in my opinion, we are also looking at it from people who have played this game multiple times. If you go back and you're playing it for the first time, after you finish the Deku Tree thing, for example, it's like, hey, we should go see Princess Zelda. After you do that, hey, they said Death Mountain is this way. You go talk to Darunia. You have no idea why he's Angie the way he is. And then Navi goes, hey, what if we told Saria that we were on a quest to save the world? You go back to Kokiri Forest, find out Saria isn't there. Lost Woods, okay, now I know where to go.
Now I know where to go.
Navi is actually a good navigational tool
Mhm.
for a first-time player.
And
We just hate
that's
on her
the
because of the
important
meme.
And it's also a matter of it's very easy to look back on mechanics like that. Fi in Skyward Sword as well does it. And to me, I think Fi and Navi are kind of an early example of the conversation around the yellow paint in modern games around climbing stuff of from a game development perspective, this could be someone's first video game ever. And I'm not saying like there's a right or wrong way. And I'm not going to say that like as much as accessibility needs to be a thing, there should also in that same vein be options for experienced players. That's why I think Pokemon should have a hard mode.
Or,
Because there
like,
should be the balance of both of them. But when
or just say, have you played this game before? Yes, and
Exactly.
then it turns off the tutorial stuff. If
Exactly,
you need it
but-
later, you can
Please.
access it. But
it's very easy to get mad at the game because yeah, I already know where I'm going. Okay, when I was 9 and playing Ocarina of Time, I didn't, and I needed that. And Navi has never been a problem. When I was 15 playing Skyward Sword, I needed Fi
yeah.
because I wasn't. Looking back now, it's ridiculous because it's that game is as linear as fucking Line Rider, but like it, it's easy to look back and say, oh, I don't need this now. Well, yeah, we're grown men in our 20s and 30s. Of course, we
We've
don't
played
fucking need
a
it
lot
now.
of video games.
Yeah.
But not everybody has, and it's a
Also,
really tough thing with game design because where do you draw the line?
Little offended that you're still able to say we're grown men in our 20s, because that is long gone for some of us and even longer gone for somebody else.
Hey, I'm turning 35.
33 next month.
35
Funny.
next month. Well,
27.
literally next month. It's the 16th today. Wow, I just
Yeah.
dated this.
26 to 27.
Ignore that,
next month.
everybody. This will be up. Actually, this will be up. After
We'll all be
my
well past the
birthday.
birthdays. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll all
'cause
be well past them. But
Speaking of, when are you guys able to meet up again? Because
anytime
have-
next week.
I think I close Saturday, so I can't then because I don't get home till about midnight.
Yeah, that is just rough because I really wanted to play some more Dead by Daylight with you yesterday. I did get to play a Let It Bear, which was fun.
Yeah. The good news is nobody called in a minute before closing time, so that's why I actually got home at like I think 11:45. But I mean, you were also already done by then. That's
Yeah,
why
I was done and trying to deal with my shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, I was kind of hoping that you were gonna play this coming Friday because I'm off this Friday. But I know
I
you're
mean, you
playing
can join
Smite.
for. No,
I thought you said you were playing Smite.
no, Lethal Company.
You
can join for that.
Meh.
It'll be modded, so you can get in.
Yeah, well,
It'll be fun.
Since you weren't playing DBD, I ended up making movie plans with Ramble. She says there's like this really bad but also kind of good Batman musical. I don't.
What?
Let me
That's,
scroll back and see what it's called.
That is
The
because
fuck is a
certainly.
Batman musical?
I don't.
I would imagine a musical about Batman.
Most likely, yes.
Okay. Yes, but what?
Let me double check.
Like, yes, that's exactly what it will be. What the fuck is it? It's
A
like the
musical
fucking
about
Star Wars.
Batman.
It's a Star Wars musical. Well, that was like was it that musical or was that the Christmas special? It was one of those
terrible, Yeah, the terrible Star Wars Christmas special. It was a
Yeah.
Christmas thing about Star Wars. Or a
two.
Star
Which
Wars
is the
thing about
dumbest shit ever.
It's called Holy Musical Batman.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because why would it be called anything else?
Oh my
But
goodness.
Wait, it's
Oh my
it's-
gosh.
it is
Is
a
it
2-hour
Holy Musical?
musical.
Oh
is
my
it Holy
gosh.
Musical Batman, but it's the @ symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's using the @ symbol instead of just saying AT
Yeah. So
for Batman.
I don't know what to expect. I will come to you again with reviews, but
Oh my God, this was a thing.
the most I would probably be able to do, I think, is next Sunday. I'm off at 8, so I could possibly do another like 9 to 11 thing next Sunday, but that'd probably be about it. I can give you a better idea as we get closer to the time.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would probably work for me.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, we had scheduling conflicts, and it's going to be another 2
Again.
weeks before we get to do this.
Again,
Yeah,
because
it's
it
fine.
happens so much.
It
But
does.
it's fine.
It does.
That's what being an adult is, where you can't make time for everybody.
And we
control
can
of my
do
life.
everything and do nothing because we're adults.
Yeah,
Anything
it's
and
kind of like
everything, no,
when I was
nothing.
unemployed. I was like, wow, I have the time to do all these things. Oh, I don't have money. Now I'm
Yeah.
employed again, and I'm like, yeah, I can do. Oh, I don't.
Now I don't have
the
time.
It's like
Huh.
Hold on. There's a meme for this.
Oh no.
it's an inverse
Mhm.
graph.
And it's
the money you have
horrible.
means
Hold
no
on.
time. More time you have means no money.
Exactly. It's fine. I'm not upset about it at all. Except
Oh, here I got it. I got the perfect image. Hold on, let's see if it'll paste properly. Here we go. So when you're young, you got time and energy, but no money.
All right,
When you're
hold on, let
adult,
me
you got no
adjust the
time.
screen. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at all that. Look at that. Look at that. Pause
Yeah.
the screen because I'm not keeping it up here.
You're young, you have time, no money and energy. When you're adult, you have no time, but you got money and energy. When you're old, you have time and money. Where's your energy? But me, I'm just fucking out of everything.
Okay, but real quick, the old thing is not 100% true for everybody. So Mr. Feeney, when he was doing Boy Meets World, he was 65. I just recently learned on the podcast that they do. Man was swimming 2 miles a day for fun at 65.
I mean, you
Yeah. It's
Age-
why he's
age-
99 now and still able to actually be on TV. It's like a
Well,
Betty
yeah,
White
you need-
situation.
age is just a thing. And honestly, on that note, it's a completely off-topic thing that we would never talk about. If anybody is ever like struggling and you want to find a like fun but easy to do exercise, swimming is legitimately one of like anything in water is a phenomenal exercise. It's a great form of like
Yes.
resistance-based exercise that isn't going to destroy your body weight. You learn a lot about, especially like if you learn to just tread water, you learn a lot about like balance and engaging your entire body. Swimming is like
Mhm.
water-based activities. There's a reason a lot of old people do water aerobics.
And if you're looking for mental activities to do, puzzles are a lot of fun.
Crosswords, I've been doing crosswords at
Crossword
work.
puzzles, and honestly, the Daily Wordle.
Honestly, or let your mind run with like solitaire or something. But
Yeah.
honestly, I would say for one of those, it's also a good thing for your mind specifically. Do something that, if you can, do something without a screen. Like buy a book of like Sudoku, crosswords, word searches. You can go to a store and pick one up for like $5.
Same with the puzzle,
It's
$15, and you
yeah,
got you could
genuinely,
get like 1,000
genuinely
puzzles.
great.
Yep.
Genuinely a great little thing, and it's from what I understand. I am not a professional, so don't take my opinion as fact. Don't take my statement as fact, but I'm pretty sure they're great in helping prevent like early onset dementia and stuff. Is doing little things like that, especially because we spend a lot of time rotting our brains playing video games.
Did you know genuinely great little thing was my nickname in high school?
No, it wasn't. Shut the fuck up.
And that has been this episode of Scheduling
Fuck you! No,
Conflicts.
fuck you! Fuck
I
you! Why
am
must you end it on
Brickerboom.
me being fucking angry? No, fuck you! My name is Baby Rhino or Marcus, however you want to say it. I didn't get to do an intro earlier because
Yeah,
my
we
fucking
forgot.
sound wasn't working.
We
Fuck.
did not do it either.
Yeah,
Oh, we
just
didn't do it.
completely
It
forgot.
doesn't matter. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Peacock, y'all have a good one.